It's been 6 long months, but we have finally returned to West Sacramento. It is the home opener in the 9-1-6 against the Houston Astros, and we are so excited to bring baseball back here to Sacramento. Hello again, everybody. Alongside my broadcast partner, Dallas Braden, I'm Chris Carey. DB, so excited for today. It's been many months in the making. The crowd is packed, and they are ready for some A's baseball. But let's turn it over to some baseball. Nick Kurtz, playing against the Astros, has had a lot of success against this team.
The big dog has definitely eaten against the Astros, and we're looking towards the Astros to help get the fella launched into 2026. When you take a look at what Nick Kurtz did last season, going home with Rookie of the Year honors, a large part of that was the production alone against the Houston Astros. He hit 500, Chris, 9 homers, 18 RBIs, just an absolute behemoth of a performance from the Big Amish.
The man to open up the series is Jeffrey Springs. Had a tremendous start against Toronto, now turns it over here to the ballpark in West Sacramento, a place that he's learned a lot from.
No doubt, and I think what you learned from Jeffrey Springs was the performance that he put together against the Toronto Blue Jays. Nothing short of outstanding, because this is what the left-hander does, is he pitches 5 1/3 strong innings against a Jays offense that frankly was at or near the top of a lot of important offensive categories last season, and he did it with precision. He did it with command. The slider was on its best behavior. The changeup kept that lineup off balance. Look for more of that here at home.
DB, the time is now. Baseball is back in West Sacramento. The ceremony is over. It was wonderful. You saw all of the A's employees. The players take the field. Only one thing left. Baseball home opener, Sacramento, when we come back.
This telecast is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Such a gorgeous day in the 9-1-6. Dallas Braden, Astros and A's right around the corner in front of a capacity crowd here at the ballpark, and it's been so long awaited to return to this place. 6 months since the A's took the field to the ballpark in West Sacramento. We know what they did in the second half of the season, having a winning record, a lot to prove, a lot to build off of, and now with a season under their belts here at the ballpark, a lot of high expectations coming from this place.
No question, Chris, and I can understand the fact that maybe it's a bit of a slow start out of the gate for the Athletics this season. But to your point about what transpired last season in the second half, what you saw here at home, what you got out of the bullpen, I think there's a lot of hope and a lot of promise moving forward. And I think some of that has to do with the hope that the adjustments can be made here, and especially from a pitching perspective here at this ballpark in West Sacramento, because there is no question the offense is going to hit their stride, and when they do, if we can get outs, there's going to be a lot to love about what we're doing.
Speaking of stride, Jeffrey Springs strides to his mound with his defense behind him, and the A's are greeted by their hometown crowd here in West Sacramento, California. After a 1-5 road trip, a lot that they want to show here at home against these Houston Astros, and their lineup will look like this today. Starting with Jeremy Pena leading off and playing shortstop. Yordan Alvarez will DH. He's had a hot start to his season. Then Altuve and Correa. Christian Walker bats fifth. Cam Smith in right field. Then Myers, Diaz, and Bryce Matthews to follow.
Give me the lefty. It is left-hander Jeffrey Springs on the bump to get things started here at the ballpark in West Sacramento 2026 campaign. His outing against the Toronto Blue Jays, Chris, was, I think, very indicative of what Jeffrey Springs brings to the table, and that's the ability to command and manipulate the baseball at will. He did a great job of keeping that lineup off balance. The slider was on its best behavior. Changeup was great, kept him out in front, and really, for Jeffrey Springs, when he's able to move the fastball around with consistency, he starts to become very unpredictable, and hitters are really taking more defensive swings than they are comfortable swings. So I look to see some more of that here tonight against the Astros lineup, who, as you mentioned, has gotten off to a pretty good start themselves, especially the big fella, Yordan Alvarez.
So behind Jeffrey Springs defensively in the outfield from left to right, Soderstrom, Clark, and Butler. Max Muncy at third, with Wilson and McNeil up the middle, Nick Kurtz at first, and then Shea Langoliers in harness behind the plate for Jeffrey Springs, against an Astro team that have won their last 5 games, including a 3-game sweep of the Boston Red Sox at home, but now on their first road trip against an A's team that won 8 of 13 against them last year. I think the Astros have something they want to prove against their in-division opponents.
Yeah, and I think for the Athletics, again, you can take what the Astros just did against the Red Sox and put that off to the side, because you do remember the success you had against this club.
So Springs winds up the first pitch, and we are underway with a foul ball at 6:41 p.m. local.
See the numbers there for Jeremy Pena. Remember, Jeremy Pena battling a fractured index finger. And I think that's a credit to just the toughness of this young man. Mr. Pena, I think, is able to find the balance between rest and recovery, still wanting to be in the lineup, understanding you don't want to miss the start to the season if you don't have to. It's never easy to start the season not feeling 100%.
Umpiring crew today, Edwin Moscoso behind the plate calling balls and strikes. At first, the crew chief Vic Carapazza. Nick Lentz is at second, and Jacob Metz completes the quartet. 2-1 to Pena, and a swing and a miss on a changeup. 2-2. Well, Houston has been swinging a lot. Here's a good pitch from Jeffrey Springs on that changeup.
Well, that's exactly what he did in Toronto. Again, that's why that changeup is such a neutralizing offering for the left-hander. Anytime, any hitter, doesn't matter.
2-2 pitch. Fought off foul. Jeremy Pena out of the leadoff spot last year, .317 with 14 homers and 54 RBIs, 96 games batting first for Joe Espada's club. 2-2 from Springs. And he got him on the outside corner. No challenge from Jeremy Pena, and that's how the game will start.
Well, it's Edwin Moscoso behind the dish tonight, calling balls and strikes. He may have a little help from the ABS. Studied chemical engineering at the University of Carabobo in Venezuela. Pitchers can engineer success by working at the top of the strike zone. Again, I think in years past, taking a look at some of the tendencies for these umpires would be something that you're interested in. Not to say that you're not still, but knowing that the ABS is there for a visual aid and really more of a feel aid now on both sides of the baseball, whether the pitcher, the catcher, or the hitter. Remember, those are the only 3 individuals that have an opportunity to contest a call.
It's Yordan Alvarez. There's no denying his talent when he's on the field. Already 10 for 24 with 3 homers to start the year. Last year, 273, 6 homers, 27 RBIs. Only played in 48 games because he dealt with both hand and ankle issues. And I think that's a big part of why Houston, finishing at 87-75, missed their first playoffs since 2016.
And I think that just speaks to how important the presence of a bat like this is in any lineup, let alone this Astro lineup. Because he's a guy who you can throw out the platoon splits, doesn't matter. He rakes lefties, he rakes righties.
1-2 pitch. That's hit well to center, but Denzel Clark has it measured up in the shade for out number 2.
Chris, I was having a good conversation with Denzel today before the game, and what's funny about this, and I just had to chuckle, as Altuve comes to the plate, and you can hear the fans still very much what I'll say appreciating Jose Altuve. But Denzel looked over at me and he said, "You see that? See that wall over there?" He said, "I think I got one in me this year." And he was pointing to the right center wall that has the fence just above it, outlined with the yellow line denoting the home run line. And I just laughed because I said, you know, Denzel, there's probably 4 human beings on planet Earth that look at that over there and go, "Yeah, I got that in the back." And he's one of them.
Well, he made a gravity-defying catch in Atlanta in the series finale, robbing Drake Baldwin of his second home run of this series. That's a little bit higher of a wall in right center. Pitch low, 2 balls and 1 strike. To the 9-time All-Star, Gold Glove Award winner, 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner, 3-time batting champion, and of course, the 2-time World Series champion, Jose Altuve. Springs at 2-1. Just missed the spot low, 3 balls and a strike to a very lethal hitter in Altuve. One challenges him with a fastball, and it's taken for strike number 2.
Altuve all but on his way to first base. Gets the call back here. Langelier is doing a nice job at the bottom of the strike zone there, dressing that up for Edwin Moscoso.
3-2 pitch is away, and Springs will see another.
Well, let's take you back to Wednesday. Kind of why I brought up that conversation I had with Denzel this afternoon, because we saw this in Atlanta. Denzel tracked that ball very nicely and frankly effortlessly all the way in that left center gap, rose above the rim and brought it on back. I mean, what an absolute stud.
You could tell the crowd as Amelia Schimmel was announcing the starting players. Now batting number 9, Denzel Clark. The roar of the audience in appreciation for his defensive efforts last year for the green and gold. Electrifying, to say the least.
Chris,
so in 2.
I think if you fast forward to the end of the season, not that we're in any hurry to do so, but there's a solid chance that when we start handing out awards, whether they be golden or even platinum, I think a lot of people think Denzel Clark's name is going to be announced, and I'm one of them.
0-2 to Carlos Correa. Altuve is running right to Kurtz. He'll take it himself, and a scoreless first for Springs. We'll see the A's bats up next. $10. Scoreless in the bottom of the first inning after a great inning of work from Jeffrey Springs. Now it's time for the A's offense. The reigning Rookie of the Year, Nick Kurtz, leads off. Then Langelier's the hottest hitter on the planet. Soderstrom, Rooker, Wilson, Butler, Max Muncy bats 7th. Jeff McNeil, the newcomer, 8th. And Denzel Clark rounds out the order.
And it's going to be those boys against 29-year-old right-hander out of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Christian Javier. 1 start under his belt this season, was touched up a bit by the Halos. 4 2/3, 6 runs, all of them earned, punched out just 1. 4 walks, Chris, a couple long balls. So let's see if the Athletics can't jump on a guy early here who struggled a bit in his initial outing.
So it's Kurtz. Swinging on the first pitch, driving it to left. Back goes Matthews at the wall, and it is caught. You thought for just a second, the way Kurtz has played against Houston, that maybe there was a magical swing in pitch number 1.
And why wouldn't you? Nick Kurtz jumps all over a center cut fastball. First pitch that the Athletics see tonight. And he gave it a ride. Just a couple feet short.
Just ends up being a loud and long out for Javier. Here's the league leader in home runs, Shea Langeliers. He'll take strike 1 on the inside corner, 0-1.
I think all in all, that's still got to feel pretty good for Nick Kurtz. You know, he's had some swing and miss here early, but you know, once he starts to barrel it up and he starts to feel the barrel in his hands, it's going to be a problem for the opposition. And I think that's just another step in the right direction.
You saw him square up the baseball the other way so many times here, especially against the in-division opponents. In the dirt now, 2 balls and a strike to Shea, who's 9 for 24 with 5 home runs and 8 RBIs. slugging at 1,000, on base at 400.
Sounds good.
Do that math. OPS at 1,400. Misses away, 3-1.
And I think this has a lot to do with the early success for Shea Langoliers. He's found himself in a lot of leverage counts. And when you do that as a hitter, you really get to start to pick out a pitch. You pick out a location. Sometimes you double down, guess right on both.
There's a walk with 1 out. And we'll take a peek at Houston's defense tonight. In the outfield, it starts with Bryce Matthews in left, Myers in center, Smith in right, Carlos Correa and Jeremy Pena on the left side of the infield, Altuve and Walker on the right side, and Yainer Diaz behind the plate for Christian Javier.
There's Mr. Pena.
Here's Soderstrom. Takes strike 1 on the backdoor sweeper. Tyler 4 for 26 to start the season. And gets a look at Christian Javier, who he has doubled off of in his career. Pulls the trigger on a high fastball, tips it into Diaz's glove.
Well, you've seen the sweeper, you've seen the fastball. He's got a changeup and a knuckle curve to go along with it. He'll try to sink it here and there as well. Just 4% of the time are you going to see that sinker. That's what we've noticed so far this season. Remember, just 1 outing.
0-2 pitch, hit in the air to shallow left in no man's land. Correa going out, Matthews in, and Carlos Correa has to course correct, but he makes the catch in foul ground for the second out.
Well, as we've learned about this ballpark, Chris, those pop-ups, those fly balls down the line eventually work their way back towards fair territory and sometimes into fair territory. This one would have ended up foul either way, but Correa, now parked over at third base, able to track it down and make the adjustment.
Right side open for Rooker. He takes outside, 1-0. 4 for 24 is Rooker to start the year. That's a 167 average, but started to hit the ball a little better in Atlanta. 3 hits against the Braves. From the stretch, Rooker takes 2-0. Last year at home, Rooker batted .281 with 14 homers and 47 RBIs at the ballpark in West Sacramento. Returns with a capacity crowd behind him. Breakers down low. So 3-0 to Rooker.
I like the approach so far. You saw it with Shea. You're now seeing it with Rooker. I'm going to force Javier into the strike zone.
He'll swing and line it to left, but Matthews has a beat on it to make the catch. So no score through 1 inning of play. We go to the second.
It's game.
A's fans win the ultimate Vegas getaway at the end of every A's homestand during the 2026 season. That's brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. Fans galore at the ballpark in West Sacramento. Not an empty seat in the house, it seems. The berm packed to the brim on a beautiful Friday night in the 916.
Yeah, there is not a spare blade of grass out there.
Christian Walker takes up 1 ball and no strikes. Walker, the 3-time Gold Glove Award winner. So now ball and a strike to Walker. Inside corner, strike 2. Jeffrey Springs, his last start of the season came against Houston here at home.
Fastball looked like it may have had a little cut on it.
Deep drive to center. But Clark, another great first step onto the warning track, makes the catch. So 1 away. That last start of the season was a winning effort for Jeffrey Springs. 5 innings, 3 hits, an earned run with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. He was opposed by Christian Javier. So this is a bit of a rematch from both Springs and Javier's final starts of the 2025 campaign, where Springs got the win, Javier got the loss.
I wouldn't mind picking up right from that spot, huh?
And Smith, the rookie last year, is up again. And a little squibber, the second base side, charging to get it. McNeil, quick release. He throws to first and beats out Smith. Nice play by the second baseman.
That's a phenomenal play. I mean, there's some English on this baseball to start with, but you can see where McNeil is. He's parked just to the right of second base, has to come in and charge that baseball. And now look at the angle from which he has to throw from. He can't get that arm up, Chris, and make a strong throw from up top. He's got to, all while he's moving, kind of side saddle a little bit. That is not as easy as Jeff McNeil made that look.
Jake Myers is up. Center fielder, and a great catch by a fan on the ricochet. Is that a burger or a dog? Looks like a burger in one hand.
And a ball on the other.
Well, their day is made, that's for sure.
You gotta love that. Second inning, souvenir, belly full. Let's watch some baseball.
Caught it on the ricochet too. Nice play. 1-1. Myers hits it high in the air to right, but it will go out of play foul. Astros last played these Athletics on September 23rd through 25th and are now greeted to a crowd that is loud and ready for baseball. We're on April the 3rd of 2026. 1-2 pitch. Changeup just a touch low, 2-2.
Well, I tell you, Chris, there's a lot of people that are hungry for baseball. Myers just kind of spits on that changeup.
2-2. Struck him out. Another strikeout for Springs. Make that 2 on his evening. Wilson leads off the second for the A's.
Calling all kiddos. It's your chance to run like a big leaguer. Youngsters 12 and under are invited onto the field after Sunday day games to run the same bases that their favorite A's players do. You can secure your Sunday tickets for the whole family at athletics.com/runthebases. Maybe even spike up, slide into second. Maybe you're scoring all the way from home to home. Like it.
So here's Jacob Wilson. No score, bottom of the second. Wilson takes strike 1. Jacob 5 for 25 to start the year. Batted .328 at home last season with 7 homers and 28 RBIs. Late to the spot on the fastball, 0-2.
And I think we've seen Marcotte do a little experimenting, just kind of moving Jay Willie around the lineup a bit. We've seen him in this spot. We saw him at the top of the lineup.
Javier's 0-2. Fouled away.
Yeah, I think sometimes you'll see the manager do that, just trying to maybe get a guy going.
For Christian Javier, made 8 starts last year. 7 starts 2 years ago, so 15 starts 3 years ago. He's a 31 start man for Houston. 0-2. Little pop to the first baseman. Walker is right there, 1 away. So I think for Christian Javier, starts the year healthy. Of course, 2024 and part of 2025 was recovering from Tommy John surgery. Now can start to finally feel like himself again. And the hope is for the Astros, of course, that Javier can be a big part of their rotation.
Well, that's the idea, is coming back from surgery. I think initially, especially that first year after, you're never quite yourself. You're trying to get back to who you were. And while trying to do so in the big leagues, that's no easy task, right? You're kind of feeling your way through your arsenal. You're feeling your way through things mechanically, but some things may shift and adjust just based on how the anatomy has shifted. But with Hunter Brown at the top of this rotation, you feel like you've got a lead dog to pull the sled. I mean, no question about that. What's interesting is you think about Lance McCullers, who's been outstanding at times for the Houston Astros. I mean, that dude can get after it. He's slated in the 5th spot right now, right? Newcomer, Imai. I mean, I just think that if you can get a Javier back to where he's been before, and you get that kind of production, the 31 start kind of post from him, I think you like where you're at.
Butler struck out on the changeup. 2 away. First strikeout for Javier.
Well, this is a really good changeup from Christian Javier. Number one, it's a strike. It's a good changeup with depth in the strike zone. And especially with 2 strikes, I think for Javier, if you're showing the ability to fill up the strike zone and compete and be aggressive with 2 strikes in the zone, that plants a seed in this offense that, hey, he's going to come after us. And I think we kind of saw him, in the first inning to Langoliers, fall behind, eventually walked. Same thing with Rooker, 3-0. Got away with Brent Rooker torching a fastball, but landed in the left fielder's glove.
Swing and a shot into left, a base hit. First hit of the game belongs to Max Muncy. 110 off the bat.
Yeah, that's barreled.
Now batting the second baseman, number 22, Jeff.
Another fastball. Looks like it's just starting to tail in towards the inner half, but Max Muncy is laying in wait. And I think Muncy has shown that he can hit the ball as hard as anybody.
Jeff McNeil now. Correa playing in, and McNeil takes up 1-0. McNeil happy to be back home in his home state of California from the slow area.
That's right. He's a dirtbag.
Good lead from Muncy. Walker holds him on. Javier from the stretch. And McNeil takes a strike, 1-1.
I think Jeff McNeil very quickly, Chris, has gotten comfortable in this lineup, and I think once you start to see him get even more comfortable at the plate, you see this lineup get a bit longer.
Grounded the other way and threw for a base hit. That's what he has done the entirety of his career, and he picks up his first hit in West Sacramento. Here comes Clark.
Well, during batting practice this afternoon, Jeff McNeil, I think his first round here, especially as a home player, took some big swings, pull side, put a few balls on the berm, and then towards the end of the round, just started peppering balls the other way, just like that. And he just kind of chuckled and laughed and told Aldo and told Bushy, I can do it all. I can do it all.
Denzel swings, grounds it through for a base hit. Crosby's giving Muncy the windmill home. The throw to the plate is late. A's up 1-0. Denzel Clark connects with a base hit. And the A's lead early against Javier.
If you can string these knocks together, good things are going to come. Javier challenging Denzel Clark in with a sinker. Denzel's able to open up, get the barrel through the zone. You see Bobby Crosby indeed has that windmill cranking. Muncy in with a hand on the dish. And the green and gold are up 1-0 early. They're going to go out and talk about it right now. This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Yeah, Yainer Diaz just wants to make sure that, hey, we've got 2 outs here. We need to make sure that we don't allow this inning to snowball here. Do you want to look at it like you have a base open? Well, there's nobody standing on third. I don't know that it's ideal that you try to pitch around Nick Kurtz to get to the hottest hitter on the planet in Shea Langoliers. That's got trouble written all over it.
Remember, this man, the first pitch the A's saw, drove it to left. It was all the way to the wall, and Matthews hauled it in. First pitch outside.
But look, if you can turn this lineup over, especially after the 2 guys before you do their job and keep the line moving with 2 outs, this is where you can really start to punish opponents.
Kurtz takes, thought about it, 1-1.
And I know there's been a lot of folks who have question marks about Nick Kurtz, leadoff spot. Don't you want him hitting with guys on? Well, look, we've been playing baseball for, I don't know, about 45 minutes, and here you go. 2 on, 2 out with the big fella up. You like it.
Has to readjust his helmet after that swing. A big uppercut swing on the sweeper.
There's not many swings that Nick Kurtz takes where there are not bad intentions behind it.
One and 2. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got to talk to Nick's parents before the game today. Said he's really excited for his first home opener.
Yeah.
He's batting leadoff for this A's club, already up 1-0. Won't get that one. The A's score a run thanks to Denzel Clark's RBI single. It's 1-0 through 2.
For over
Bench your mobile provider for better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile and get Wi-Fi plus 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity, imagine that. Gorgeous overhead of the ballpark. You can see almost 0 empty seats here in the home opener at the ballpark in West Sacramento. A's fans enjoying a 1-0 lead courtesy of the rally started by Max Muncy and finished with an RBI single from Denzel Clark, his 2nd RBI of the year. Springs back to work this time against Yainer Diaz, who fouls it away. It's 1-1. Diaz from Asua in the Dominican Republic, home of Sandy Alcantara and former Athletic Esteuri Ruiz. It's late on the fastball there, 1-2.
Alcantara posted the season's first complete game the other day.
After an interesting 2025 year for Sandy, a much better start to 2026. 1-2, fouled away.
Yeah, name was swirling about in trade rumors. Not really sure if he was going to finish the season there, but he ended up, as you said, kind of dealing with some different things.
1-2 pitch, foul back. Diaz last season 256, 20 homers, 70 runs batted in. As the first choice catcher for Houston. He's caught or played in 100+ games in each of the last 3 seasons. 1-2, ground ball up the middle. Tough play for Wilson. Goes to a slide, and he won't be able to throw it to first. Moments ago, Dallas caught up with the A's manager, Mark Kotsay.
All right, A's fans, I am with the skipper, Mark Kotze. Skip, Denzel Clark off to a bit of a slow start this season. We know what he brings to the table defensively. It's got to be real nice to watch him turn that lineup over, especially with 2 outs, and drive in the first run home here in West Sac.
Yeah, no question. You know, aggressive on a fastball, first pitch fastball, which we want from Denzel. Obviously, you know, he's going to be a big part of this offense at the bottom. We got to get him on base and, you know, keep the line moving. I thought it was a great 2-out rally right there. Muncy was the leader of it.
Jeffrey Springs is every much a pitcher as anybody out there. What do you like to see from Jeffrey Springs moving on? It looks like he started to settle in quickly, much like he did against Toronto in the opener.
Yeah, it looks like he's got good feel for his fastball and, you know, change up at the bottom of the zone, really. So attack the zone, don't give up any free bases in this ballpark, and let's play some good defense behind him.
Kotz, great to talk to you. We'll see you all season long, my man.
Sounds good.
Number 4 prospect in MLB Pipeline's top 30 Astros prospect. It's Bryce Matthews, who had to compete till the very end of camp to make that final offensive roster spot for Joe Espada's club. Playing left field today by trade, a second baseman. Played in only 13 games last year, where he made his major league debut in July against the Texas Rangers. Had 4 home runs, but a 167 average. This year, 2 hits, including a double and a home run for Houston. And his first opening day, his time with the Astros, it was a successful first few games for Houston. They split the series against the Angels 2 apiece. A few primetime national games in there, and then won 3 in a row against the Red Sox. Total 5 in a row for Houston.
Yeah, they've been playing good baseball. There's no doubt.
2-2 pitch. Springs thought about tapping his head. For a second, I thought he motioned for it.
Well, he wanted to, but there was no tap. See where Langoliers has the target set up right at the top of the strike zone. It's Brady thinking to himself, maybe I should.
3-2 pitch fouled away by Matthews.
And on the season, Chris, A's are 8 for 12 when it comes to the challenge. See where Matthews catches this one. Right off the inside, that left foot, that instep. Remember, pitchers for the Athletics, I should say pitcher, Hogan Harris. Pitchers are 1 for 1, so they're batting 1,000 when it comes to the ABS challenge.
That puts a smile on your face, Dallas Braden. I know that for a fact. 3-2. Matthews strokes it to center. In comes Clark, and he makes the catch. He'll throw over to first, but Diaz scampers back in. So there's the first out of the 3rd inning. Denzel, good closing speed. We've said that already so many times early in 2026.
And get used to hearing it. And something that I was talking about the other day is typically when you see a ball that is going to fall and the outfielder knows it's going to fall, they try to deke the runner and they'll throw up a glove early as if to say, hey, I've got a beat on this ball, but in reality I do not. And I think that's probably the worst kept secret in baseball. Everybody knows that that ball is probably going to fall and you indeed do not have a beat on it. So I've thought about, you know, maybe as an outfielder, it might behoove you to flash that glove.
Line drive down the left field line. That's fair and going to tuck into the corner. Rumbling around second and heading for third is Diaz. He'll be held up there. And Pena into second with a 1-out double.
Well, Pena able to get to this slider, trying to work its way down towards that back foot area. But Jeremy Pena opens up, puts a pretty good swing on it. This ball is going to kick around down there in that corner. The Astros here with 1 out, runners on second and third. Now you are staring down the barrel of Yordan Alvarez. Chris, I told you Yordan, lefties, righties, doesn't matter. In his abbreviated season last year, 344 against left-handers, couple of homers, 4 doubles, slugged over 650.
From the stretch third base side of the rubber, Jeffrey Springs comes set. 1-0 pitch and a big swing and miss from Yordan Alvarez.
Great pitch by Jeffrey Springs. Yordan is just simply not a guy that you want to give into. And Springs, I think, maybe being able to tap into a little aggressiveness from Yordan with a couple of guys in scoring position right now. And see Jeff kind of squeeze the glove there a bit. Watch Langoliers right after. He just kind of convinces him, hey, it's all right, we're close. Stick with me here.
2-1 pitch. Lays off again. 3-1. In prime position for the big left-handed hitter to swing if it's in the zone. This is an Astros team that last year on the road batted .251 as a club. That was 8th in all of baseball for that mark. 3-1 pitch. Hit high in the air to right. Butler going back. On the track. He has room, he'll make the catch. Yainer Diaz will come home to score the tying run. And it's a long sacrifice fly for Yordan Alvarez, his 7th RBI of the young season. 1-1.
Well, he gets another slider. This one stays up. Probably not quite where you'd like it. But the idea that you get rid of Yordan Alvarez and just one across, especially with runners on second and third, I think you'll take that. Yordan just missed it.
So Pena now at third, advancing on the fly ball out. And it's Jose Altuve who walked his first time. Up and in. 1-0.
Altuve with the walk in his first at bat. Look out.
There's a strike. Evens the count at 1-1.
Altuve so far this year, Chris, and again, it's early, sporting a career low chase rate right now. According to Fangraphs, just a 24% O swing, which is a swing outside the zone rate. And I've got a theory behind that, and that's maybe Jose Altuve, who is constantly used as an example between he and Aaron Judge, as guys that might be affected by the ABS system.
2-1 pitch, up and out, 3-1.
Might be feeling that system out, might be feeling that zone out.
Pena at third. Altuve at the plate at 3-1. He will take strike number 2.
It's just a come and get it fastball from the left-hander.
Where does Springs go here?
He might pull the string.
Payoff pitch. Liner foul.
And indeed he did.
Three balls and 2 strikes. And he takes. There's a challenge from Langoliers, the first of the game, the first of the ballpark in West Sacramento. Big spot here. It's an ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile, and it is a strike. The crowd's happy about that one, DB.
As well they should be. What do you got, Cox?
A chicken restaurant.
Not only is the stadium full, but so is the parking lot. It's going to be a fun one getting out of here tonight after the fireworks. 1-1 the score. Bottom of the third inning, and it's Shea Langeliers up against Christian Javier. Breaking ball misses high and in. 1-0.
Chris, is that a banana on your head, or are you just happy to see me?
Is that chocolate covered banana that he's handing out?
No, that's just the end of the banana. You know? You ever had a banana?
I know where you're going with this. Yes, I've had plenty of bananas in my life. Strike to Shea, 2-1. Javier accepting the sign. Langeliers walked his last time up. 2-1 pitch. Hit well to center field. But Myers is there.
Well, it sounded like it was just a little further towards the end of the bat there for Langeliers.
I cannot get enough of these overhead shots of the stadium. You can see the Tower Bridge in the background, the Ziggurat building, the dead center, and the skyline of downtown Sacramento on the other side of the river. Pitch outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Soderstrom popped out his last time. 1-1. Javier to the plate. And a sweeper that swung through and missed. Well, Tyler, his first 6 games of the season last year, he was batting .348 with 3 homers and 4 RBIs. Through basically all of March and April, he was going toe-to-toe with the likes of Aaron Judge in the home run category. Now it's Langeliers to have the hot start in 2026. 1-2 windup and pitch. Soderstrom takes 2-2.
We had Sodi that was, and albeit early, but still vying with Aaron Judge in the home run category. It was Jacob Wilson towards the end of the season who was vying with Aaron Judge for the batting title.
Good eye on the changeup. Now the count full at 3-2. Javier sitting at 41 pitches. Here comes the 3-2 to Soderstrom. Tyler takes in and draws a walk. A very professional plate appearance from the A's left fielder, and he'll pass the baton to Brent Rooker.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 25.
If the Athletics can continue to put at-bats like this together, I think you'll start to see a lot more of what you saw with the bottom part of that lineup. And it was just last inning where a couple of quick outs for Javier and then 3 knocks in a row. Next thing you know it, Green and Gold have a lead. But it's the discipline. You can start to run that pitch count up for Javier.
I think people saw the 1-5 record on the road trip, and there might have been some causes for concern. But if you really break down each game, the A's were in all of them.
Right.
Especially the first 2 games that ended in walk-offs in Toronto.
And I think that's where a lot of the emotion comes in to the start of the season. Is it's one thing to drop a ball game here or there, maybe a couple few in a row. It's another to think that you had an opportunity to win each and every one of those ball games and just not able to come through. And that's what sticks with you as a club, right? Whether it's not being able to string those hits together, or maybe it's being able to produce some offense, but not being able to get off the field, not being able to get the outs when you need them.
Hitters count for Rooker. 2-0 pitch. He pulls the trigger and fouls it away.
Chris, you've talked about all the great shots that we've gotten from the ballpark tonight. Our wire cam, brought to you by Defy, largely responsible for the incredible perspective you're going to get not only tonight but each and every ball game here in West Sac.
Our pilot Tommy Goss doing a great job. So happy to have Tommy back, and saw Tommy setting it all up today, making sure everything was right, and we've gotten beautiful shots, a great crowd, solid pilots going to work, and a 3-1 count to Rooker in a 1-1 game. Takes a letter high strike, 3-2.
Well, back-to-back full counts. You'll take that. This fastball right at the tip top of the strike zone.
Rooker takes back-to-back walks now for Javier, and it's Wilson coming up with a runner in scoring position. An opportunity that he has feasted upon countless times at this ballpark.
Diaz out again to talk Correa from the hot corner over to listen in. This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. And Jacob Wilson, as much as we've talked about Nick Kurtz being in that leadoff spot and wanting him to hit with guys on, well, we saw that come around and happen in the second inning. Now here's Jacob Wilson, a guy who can handle the bat as good as anybody in the big leagues, with a guy in scoring position. And this is where we have had the conversation about the defense starting to open up holes once you get guys on base.
Wilson had a soft pop-up to the first baseman Walker his last time up. Javier to the plate. Wilson swings, gentle pop into right. Smith moving over, he'll make the catch by the line, and no further advance from either runner at first or second.
Number 4, Lawrence Butler.
Have to be cautious, as you said, about those areas in left and right. The ball can curl back into play, but it can just as easily slice foul.
Well, and coming off the bat of a right-hander, Chris, that ball just did not have enough helium in it, just not high enough for that ball to start to work its way back. But I mean, that's again a credit to Cam Smith tracking that ball nicely out of right field.
First pitch popped into shallow left. That's dropping fast, and it gets down. Soderstrom will come home to score, and the A's take their lead right back on a bloop single from Butler. It's 2-1.
Go to work, Law Dog. Maybe not the hardest hit, but it's going to find some grass, and that's all that matters. Lawrence Butler just able to muscle this pitch out into shallow right, shallow left, excuse me. And you see Bobby Crosby with that low point. Soderstrom able to come on down. You can see Diaz now just motioning to Javier, hey, come on, come at me.
Muncy takes 2 balls and no strikes. So 2 different walk-up songs from Muncy. The most recent, Black Smoke Rising by Greta Van Fleet. How about that? A little bit of rock in Muncy. Maybe he can rock Javier here at 2-0. Add to this 2-1 lead. Gets it in the air. In foul ground, and it will spill into the seats this time. It did have the helium that you were talking about 2 batters ago in Wilson.
And look, whatever's got knocks in it, Chris. Whatever's got knocks in it. Just keep playing the same old hits.
Javier's stretch pitch. 2-1. Lined into right center. Smith on the run. He's not going to get there. It's 4-1.
That's a 105-mile-an-hour missile off the bat of Max Muncy. Gonna split the defense out there in right center. Smith can't get to it. He took a direct line to it. That was gonna be his only shot to make a play on this ball. Barely. Rooker around easily, the Law Dog as well. All the way from first. That's a couple of fantastic swings from Max Muncy.
McNeil takes up. Already 2 hits for Max. Remember how hard he worked this offseason and how much of an impression he made at the third base position and with the bat during spring training. He and Langoliers stood out above all the rest in an offense that was swinging it well. McNeil pokes it out of play, foul.
And I think for Max Muncy it was twofold. Number one, the bat gave him every opportunity to allow the work he was putting in defensively be a big part of why he was going to be on the roster. And if you're swinging it the way he did and you're also putting the work in the way he has defensively, you're going to get that opportunity. And I think it's very easy to say that Max Muncy earned that opportunity. How about the Athletics, Chris, tonight? All 4 runs across with 2 outs.
McNeil had a 2-out hit last inning. Set up Clark. Jeff swings and tips it into Diaz's glove, 2-2. And these young guys getting involved. Butler, Muncy, Clark responsible for the 4 RBIs. Two and 2 to McNeil. Fouls it away. Into a sea of green and gold. Stephen Okert starts to warm up as well alongside Roderick Munoz. Two and 2. Fly ball to left. Matthews on the run, still going, and he makes the catch on top of the line. But the A's score 3 runs off of 2 hits and lead 4-1 through 3 innings.
The 3 for me.
Time to spring into baseball. The Texas Rangers come to town for a weekday series. Don't miss this Wild West showdown, where every pitch is a duel and every swing brings the heat. To round up your crew and catch the action live. Get your tickets at athletics.com/tickets. It's going to be coming up here soon, April 13th through the 16th. Another division matchup.
Carlos Correa takes strike 1. He bounced out to the first baseman Kurtz as the final out of the top of the first. Correa now 8 for 28 to start the year. Gets it off the end of his bat and fouls it away.
So Correa's going to take his timeout, slow it down a bit. 0-2 early, which is something you love to see for Jeffrey Springs.
So the 0-2 pitch to Correa. There's a changeup outside, 1-2.
Go, Jeffrey!
1-2 is high. Well, Correa traded to Houston from Minnesota on July 31st of last year, returning to an Astros team that he had a lot of success with at the shortstop position. But with Pena there, has had to move to third, and it's looked very good for Correa.
A guy who, I think, when it comes to
being in the clubhouse, about as pro as it gets with his teammates. Heads up. It's okay, ma'am. We do have a spring there, or a screen there. How about young lady above her was ready to barehand it.
Well, we do have a Springs on the mound, and he strikes out Correa. Fourth strikeout for Jeffrey Springs.
Springy with a little backdoor slider action here. And Correa, sitting soft, was probably looking for a changeup. Instead, got a backdoor slider.
Christian Walker, who flew out to center, is up again, and he takes a strike on an inner working sweeper, 0-1. Walker last year, 238, 27 homers, and 88 runs batted in. So a good year for his first season in Houston. Signed that 3-year deal. Took him away from the Arizona Diamondbacks. Talked about this before. Christian Walker, one of the best waiver claims of the last decade, much like Brent Rooker, the DH of the A's. I think those two are the biggest ones you think about across baseball, what you can get with some guys that may get overlooked by other organizations.
And it's just a matter of, I think, organizations losing patience with guys. Maybe their time in town has kind of run its course, haven't met the expectations, and maybe that window of opportunity closes. But if you can see the talent, I think it's a credit to some of the advanced scouting departments out there that see things they like and feel like, hey, if we can get this fella in the building, I think there's some conversations we can have that might be able to unlock the skill set and really see his game taken to the next level.
2-2, gets underneath it, pops it up to Kurtz. First chance, and he's got it.
Well, great job by Nick Kurtz. We saw Correa earlier in the ball game down that third base line. Almost overrun a play that he was still able to make, but Kurtz able to get comfortable over here on the first base side and keep it parked and let that ball come right back to him.
Cam Smith grounded out to the second baseman McNeil, but it was off the end of his bat, and McNeil had to range over a long way and deliver a quick strike to first to retire the Astros right fielder. It was a nice play, as you mentioned. 10th for AL Rookie of the Year voting, tied for 10th last season after a .236 campaign with 9 home runs. But with Nick Kurtz in the fold, there was nobody that was coming close to the A's first baseman other than his teammate Jacob Wilson.
We talked a lot about it towards the end of the season, just kind of understanding how that race was unfolding. But to think that you're an organization who has the first and second place finishers when it comes to the Young Player Award, right? The Rookie of the Year. Feel pretty good about the future. We saw this in Toronto from Jeffrey Springs. 93, 94 miles an hour on the fastball, and then able to spin that breaking ball to the back door against the right-handers. And it's almost like they see a different spin, and they're expecting something much softer.
2-2 pitch, called strike 3. Springs has another strikeout. He's painting corners tonight in the home opener in West Sacramento. The A's lead 4-1 behind the shoulders of the A's southpaw Springs.
Daniel's having.
A's baseball is brought to you by Downtown Subaru of Oakland, home of Pure Pricing. Whether it's online or in person, with Pure Price, it's a win-win situation. Visit SubaruofOakland.com. Cruising into the bottom of the 4th inning, the A's lead 4-1 over the Astros. It's Clark, Kurtz, and Langeliers. Denzel had an RBI single his first time up, his second RBI of the season. That opened up the scoring for the A's. They'll take down low, 1 ball and no strikes. As Marcotte said when you talked to him earlier in the game, Denzel a big part of the bottom of the order, trying to feed the top. They need him and want him to get on base very consistently. And he already has a hit tonight ahead of Kurtz.
The idea is if Denzel can get on base and turn that lineup over, not only is he a threat to grab 90 feet all on his own, but you pound a double down the line somewhere up into the gap where they got to run a while. That's exactly what Denzel Clark's going to do. He's going to run a while. It's a threat to score from first. But I think more importantly, giving the top of the order where the boppers lie a chance to drive him in. That's what you're looking for.
Rio pitch, a 4-pitch walk. That's another way Denzel can get aboard, is the patient eye at the plate. He reaches on a leadoff walk and sets up Kurtz yet again.
And now think about what we heard Mark Kotsay say, which was, we don't mind Denzel being a little aggressive early in the count, especially on some early fastballs. And in that at bat, very patient, just waited out Christian Javier, who couldn't find the strike zone, all with the fastballs. And I think there needs to be a lot of credit given to Denzel in that moment where, hey, you see a heater, you might want to jump all over it, maybe even have a tendency to expand your strike zone because it is a fastball that you're hunting.
First pitch to Kurtz. He fouls it back. 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout swinging.
But I think the Athletics, and understandably so, they've done their homework against Christian Javier. They got a good idea of how he's looking to attack him. See Munoz back up and at him. Remember, Chris, this is the opponent that Christian Javier has seen the most of in terms of starts. Let's take a look at StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. This is the spray chart of Nick Kurtz. A lot of those folks, they go a long way. But what's the take-home message? Power to all fields.
Just shows you how good Kurtz was against Houston. 21 hits last year all over the field. Of course, that massive 4-homer, 6-hit game in Houston in late July. Biggest game of his career up to this point. 3-1. Takes it. Now 3-2.
Well, I mean, these are the numbers last season. 21 for 42. Do the math. Yeah, that's 500. But I mean, 9 homers, 18 runs batted in. An OPS of almost 2,000.
He'll draw a walk. Javier back-to-back walks again.
Well, you and I were there, partner. That was number 1 on the evening. A rifle shot out to left, and he backed it up with another one, dumping it into the Crawford boxes. Got the head out, poolside pop, second deck, and then, hey, if he didn't get one of the first 2 in the Crawford boxes, Nick Kurtz delivered a third. They're out now to try to reel in Christian Javier. Probably more about giving the bullpen time to catch up. This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Right now, Javier scrambling, trying to pin down the strike zone.
That's pitching coach Joshua Miller. Had to walk out a few times tonight. And with Langoliers coming up, you don't want things to snowball with the speed of Clark at second. Kurtz at first. Langoliers, who has hit the ball very well to start the season, and nobody out. First pitch to Shea. Goes down low and fouls it back.
Well, I tell you, if Javier decides to leave another one of those sliders over there, it's going to be trouble. That's a pretty good pass there from Langoliers, especially on the first pitch breaking ball.
From the stretch. Not a bad pitch there. But misses a touch outside, 1-1. Lots of movement on that breaking ball.
Yeah, Shea's seeing it well. And that's, again, problematic if your name is Christian Javier.
That doesn't do. 2-1. Again, Langeliers gaining count leverage. And in a good position to swing against Javier, who has surrendered 5 hits and 4 runs in this game. 2-1. Oh, nice changeup. 2-2.
Well, not able to land a couple of those breaking balls. Instead of the fastball, he goes back to the changeup in what used to be a fastball count.
Does he challenge him up high here or go right back to that changeup?
I think he's probably got to go soft here.
2-2.
Oh, he decided to go with the fastball.
And for Shea, his performances through 6 games, I know a small sample size, starting to turn heads all across the country about what this A's catcher might be capable of in 2026. Fouled off. No longer is there just a conversation about Cal Raleigh to the north of Sacramento. The Shea Langeliers right there at the top with the best catchers in baseball. Some are even saying that he could be the best by the end of the year.
You're not going to hear me argue with it.
Outside, yep, seeing it well, Dallas. Absolutely right. That's a pitch that many swing at.
Well, you can see where this pitch ends up. Just outside. Good fastball from Javier, but Langeliers sees it the whole time. That maybe even caught a little bit of Edwin Moscoso off the glove of Diaz.
Three and 2. Bouncing ball to short. To second. On to first. A 6-4-3 double play. A long at bat for Langeliers, but Javier gets the 2 ball he needed.
Sorely needed at that. That's where I think you just got to tip your cap to Javier, who made some big pitches when he needed to, got back in the count with a 2-1 changeup. Challenged Shea with a fastball, elevated. Shea was able to take a fastball. And then eventually got the double play he needed, did Javier.
One of the bigger ovations as the players were coming onto the field was this man, Tyler Soderstrom, who extended with the A's this offseason, 7 years, $86 million. Said, this is the club that drafted me. We've created a cohesion here, a friendship. And this is where I want to be. Spits on a changeup, now 1-1. And of course, grew up right down the road in Turlock, California. Underneath it, popped up a mile high. Who's gonna get it? Diaz dropped it. It dropped, and Clark scores. 5-1.
How many times have we seen it here? You could almost get a sense that Diaz never really had a beat on this. You can see him start to sidestep it a bit. Correa in late. Walker in late. It's something that I think we've seen the Athletics do, is make a concerted effort to get the corners to make plays on those types of pop-ups if they can. Looks like that's going to close the door on the night for Javier. We'll take a break. A's up 5-1 here in the fourth.
Toyota.
Get all your highlights, analyses, live updates, and more. Everything an Athletics fan needs. The NBC Sports California app. Download it now. Well, the Astros find themselves in a predicament. Now the score 5-1 after a pop-up is, I won't say dropped by Diaz, but he never even made contact with the baseball. That scored a run. Soderstrom gets the RBI, and in the game enters Roderick Munoz in his third appearance of the season.
Yeah, third appearance of the season, Chris. The last one did not go so well. Couple innings against the Halos. 2 runs, 3 hits, a walk. Christian Javier's line not much better tonight. 3 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs. All of them earned. 5 walks for the right-hander against 2 strikeouts.
So Munoz against Rooker. He's lined out, walked, and scored. Munoz pitched in 11 innings for the St. Louis Cardinals in 9 appearances last year and was picked up in the Rule 5 draft. Purchasing the contract-worthy Astros. He's on the team now. Too much major league experience, though, and he pitches outside 1-0. 29 career major league appearances, 17 starts. That goes all the way back to 2024, where he pitched in 18 games, 17 of them started for the Marlins. So 3 different teams across the last 3 years for Munoz. And he pulls his fastball again, 2-0.
And there must be something that the Astros saw that they liked about Munoz. You mentioned being snagged out of that Rule 5 draft. It's the first Rule 5 draft pick by the Astros, Chris. You got to go all the way back to 2017. Lefty Anthony Gose.
Again outside. Well, he's the twin brother of Roldy Munoz in the Atlanta Braves organization. Also a relief pitcher. Both 25 years old. Lottery not finding the zone early. Hooker did swing at a 3-0 pitch 2 at-bats ago, plate appearances ago, but he won't need to. 4 straight misses on the fastball, and the line continues to move for the A's.
And that's about the last thing you want if you're Joe Espada, is to go and get a guy and try to put it in to the inning, and it's a 2-out walk. And I think the best part about what you're seeing right now is the fact that the Athletics have been able to get into the bullpen and do so early against the Astros here in game 1 of the series.
Jacob Wilson up 0 for 2 with a pop out and a fly out. We'll take strike 1. I was about to say, conversely, Mark Kotze's got to be excited about this, considering 6 straight games against Toronto and Atlanta. You know, the bullpen was stretched thin at points. The way that Springs is pitching, the offense is performing. This is what he envisioned for this team to look like most games. And obviously, that's not as easy to put out on the field every single night. It's better in practice than when you see them going out every single day doing this. But see the way the bullpen has performed over the last few days, a day off. It's good to see the A's get to the bullpen early, as you mentioned. 1-1 ground ball up the middle. That's going to be through for a base hit. Soderstrom rounds third. He will score. Rooker's going to take third behind him, and it's 6-1. RBI single for Wilson.
And I think this inning alone, Chris, has shown you what the identity of this offense can be. Jay Willie gets a sinker that creeps right back over the heart of the plate, pounds it right back up through the box. And not only do you get Sodi coming around and scoring, but the hustle from Brent Rooker to go first to third. You saw patience with Denzel Clark at the bottom of the lineup, who once again turned it over. Nick Kurtz shows a little of the same.
Butler in the air to left. Matthews going back. Still going at the wall. It is gone. It's gone. Butler in opposite field. 3-run home run. And the A's have blown it wide open in the fourth.
Talk about stringing them together. Quality at bat after quality at bat from the Athletics.
Lawrence Butler's third hit of the season is an opposite field 3-run home run. And he has a 4 RBI game. Every single run that has been brought home tonight for the A's have been with 2 outs. And Muncy is a big part of that. He swings, drives it to deep left, back to back. The A's have reached double digits, and we're not even through 4 yet. To left, and it's 10-1.
Have yourself a ball game, Max Muncy. This A's offense has lit up the sky on fireworks night. The thing about it, Chris, you had a pitch timer violation. Munoz trying to get his bearings about him. You can see Diaz trying to calm him down and get him back online.
And there's some big confusion going on with the Houston Astros. Back-to-back homers. It started with Lawrence Butler. A big swing to left.
Well, how about the Law Dog? Fastball up, out over the plate. Special delivery. Butler with a backside boogie. Let the ball travel. And travel it did. But the green and gold were not done there, my friend. Max Muncy, a single in the second, a double in the third, and he gets a little wrinkle that he just absolutely irons out. Mixer in the middle, Muncy mangled it. Back to back in West Sac.
I like the sound of that, DB. 9th hitter to come up this inning, Jeff McNeil. The A's have scored 6 runs this inning, all with 2 outs.
And you're just a pop-up away from ending the inning.
On 1, and McNeil fouls it away.
First 2 guys reach base. You get a big double play. And then the floodgates open.
One-two pitch into center, and it's caught by Myers. And the bleeding stops for Houston. But the A's score 6 runs, headlined by the Law Dog. Bang! 10-1, and Muncy follows. I think it's safe to say the future is now, Dallas Braden. Lawrence Butler and Max Muncy went back-to-back in the 6-run bottom of the 4th inning, and the score is a lot larger than when we entered the 4th. 10-1, the A's lead. Springs at 73 pitches. Keep a mind on that as Jake Myers is up for a second time. He'll bounce it over deep in the hole, short. Backhanded by Wilson. Jump ball to first. They got him. Unbelievable.
Jay Willie from deep in the 6th hole. Credit the first step here to Jacob Wilson. You got to go down and snag it, come up, and put enough on it to get the runner. Jacob Wilson has plenty of arm. Little jump throw a la Jeter. How about the stretch from the big fella on the back end? Oh, wow. Let's go. Oh, we're going, Jay Willie.
This team, after 6 tough games in Toronto and Atlanta, come home and through 4 innings scored 10 runs off of 9 hits. Have played good defense, have capitalized on Javier's mistakes, and have gotten to the bullpen early. This is the team that many were expecting to see a little bit earlier, but now they get a very good look at the green and gold here at home in Game 7 of the season.
We talked about it in the open. Come home and get comfortable. Speaking of comfortable, Jay Willie, pretty comfortable out there on defense. Longest errorless streak by an ace shortstop, sitting at 46 right now.
One thing that you can feel here in this home opener, the crowd has been with the club by every pitch, every swing. They have rose as the ball has been in the air. And another strikeout for Springs. 6 on the evening.
Take another look at Jacob Wilson. I mean, Chris, he's 5 feet out there in the left field. Elevates, turns, makes a great throw. Nick Kurtz able to stretch out, cut the distance down. Give credit to this A's offense as well. You got to come up big in big spots. 2 outs, you're able to keep the line moving, and that's exactly what the green and gold have done tonight.
1-1 to Matthews outside. A line drive out to center field back in the 3rd inning. Springs at 82 pitches. Most everyone should be available considering the day off yesterday. Called strike.
JT Ginn starting to loosen up, along with Michael Kelly.
2-2 pitch high.
You know, remember the performance from JT Ginn. 3 2/3. Lights out relief work. With the score looking the way it is right now, you'd love to, if you're Mark Kotsay, be able to go to just one other guy, and that very well could be a guy like JT Ginn.
3-2 pitch fouled away. That was Game 3 against Toronto, and Ginn went 3 2/3 with a hit, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. At times in his young major league career, he has been an excellent major league starter, now being deployed in a long position out of the bullpen. 3-2. Grounded right to McNeil. And another scoreless inning for Jeffrey Springs. He has sat down 8 straight.
A's fans, you know what Saturday means? It means Sacramento Saturdays. Join us tomorrow, April 4th, 1:05, as the A's continue their battle with the Astros. You can be one of the first fans in the ballpark and score a Sacramento baseball jersey all your own. It's the perfect way to rep your team all season long. Lock in your seats right now at athletics.com/tickets.
They got a good look at the jersey, the Sacramento uniform that they'll feature tomorrow. Jeffrey Springs has a 10-1 lead to work with. He's through 5 innings and only 1 run of damage allowed against him. It's Denzel Clark who takes 1-1. One thing we were wondering about Springs is how he was going to look in his first start back at the ballpark in West Sacramento. We wondered about the first 2 innings. These 5 innings again has looked very sharp.
He sure has. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Jeffrey Springs has gotten ahead of hitters. I mean, even though he's found himself in some battles, he's been able to make big pitches. You know, you go back to the at-bat against Yordan Alvarez back in the 3rd. It was a leadoff knock to Yainer Diaz, and then a double by Pena. And you're facing Alvarez, and you're just trying to stay away from damage at that point. And it's a deep fly ball, sure, sac fly.
2-2. Clark called out on strikes. 1 away. Another thing to note, Dallas, as that's the 3rd strikeout of the A's evening. They have not been striking out much at all against Houston tonight.
Well, I think that might be due in part to the fact that they just hadn't seen a ton of strikes consistently, and the ones they did, they got off some pretty good swings. Those strikes ended up souvenirs.
Kurtz is up, driven to right. If it's fair, it's gone, but it will go foul. Some powerful swings by Kurtz tonight, and it's a very encouraging sign.
Well, you just hear how flush he caught that. And I tell you, he barrels one, Chris, this place is going to erupt.
One, and he has a great eye at the plate. Drew a walk in the 4th inning. As flied out deep to left, did strike out on a breaking ball, his 2nd time to the plate. But he has leverage again at 2-1. That was a good slider. Deceptive. Two, and he strikes out on the breaking ball. Back-to-back Ks by Munoz. 2 away.
Well, you got to believe that Joe Espada liking this much more than he did the last half inning. That'll bring up Langoliers with 2 outs, and that's something that the A's have done a great job of, Chris. Coming into tonight, A's had 5 2-out RBIs. 5. 10 tonight. 10 2-out RBIs. Last year, Green and Gold, 2 games with 10 2-out RBI performances. One against these Houston Astros, another one against the Halos. Both of those on the road. You got to go all the way back to 2019. That was the last time the Athletics had more than 10 2-out RBIs. That was at Texas. On the road again, they had 12 that night.
0-2 to Shea. He lays off the slider. A's have scored 10 runs tonight, scored 6 in totality in the series against Atlanta. just goes to show there's no place like home. Shea works the count full to 3-2.
Good call, Dory.
Of all the nicknames, I actually don't hate that one. 3-2 payoff is outside, and Shea walks. As he does that, we'll enjoy a word from Smud.
Smud's Clean Power City movement is happening. Hundreds of thousands are taking action, driving electric, making clean power choices, and saving money with Smud rebates. Together, we're changing the world. For 99 ways to join the charge, visit cleanpowercity.org.
Soderstrom had an RBI single in the 4th inning. That extended the A's lead to 5-0, but really it was a pop-up on the infield that Yanier Diaz couldn't glove. It just dropped down. Denzel Clark came in to score. And the floodgates opened after that. Line drive foul.
And it's one of those moments in the ball game that you go back to, especially if you're the Astros, and you go, right there. That's when it happened. I mean, they were already trailing, but nonetheless, you watch the game get completely out of hand, and you circle that moment.
Reminds me of in Toronto, that play in left center field, that though it was a tighter game and a walk-off finish for Toronto, it still was that moment you keep going back to.
Well, it's just that pivotal play, and that's what happens in close games like that. Is it's one play, but this is the one we're talking about. I got it. Where's it at? Who's got it? I do not have it. And when you think about the Astros, you know, where do they play half their ball games? In a climate-controlled environment, right? You're not worried about wind. You're not worried about any of the elements impacting gameplay. But here, a very different story. You don't have that second or third deck. You have the elements impacting the baseball sooner and longer than anywhere else that they're going to play this year. You know, I was talking to Denzel Clark earlier today about some of the baseballs and how they were traveling in the outfield, and he said, you know, some of these balls are really knuckling today, and I brought that point up, and he said, you know, I never really even thought about that.
3-2. Langeliers is going. Line drive into right center field. That'll find the alley and go all the way to the wall. Langeliers is going to score. Soderstrom to second base. Another 2-out RBI. It is 11-1.
Two-out knocks get you to heaven. St. Peter, get your pad ready. I got another name for you. Tyler Soderstrom. Sody with a missile up into the gap in right center. And how about our man Shea Langeliers? I want to talk about a man who can scoot.
Ren Rooker is up and swinging on the first pitch. Look at the wheels of Shea Langeliers. Even at 10-1.
Backstop off with the pitch. He's rounding second, picking him up and putting him down. He gets the windmill from Bobby Crosby, coming around third and home safely. No problem.
Rooker has 2 walks and 2 runs scored. And he's behind at 0-2.
I don't know how many teams boast a speedster in the squat, but that's exactly what Shea Langeliers is. One of the faster players on the club. And he's going to take care of the catching duties.
I always like to remind folks that in the season that former Athletic Estuary Ruiz set the rookie stolen base record and had done so in the first half. You see Ryan Weiss warming up now. Shea Langoliers at the time had a faster sprint speed than Estuary Ruiz.
2-2. Popped up right side of the infield, and Walker will make the catch. But the A's add another 2-out run, and they lead by 10. It's 11-1.
Here you leave today.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the entire season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/athletics, the official source for your athletics gear.
Jeffrey Springs is back to work in the 6th. And Jeremy Pena is up for a 3rd time. 11-1 the score. Pena has a double in this game. One of 2 Astro hits.
It'd be really nice if you could squeeze 6 innings out of Jeffrey Springs. Looks like Big Mike is up right now. Michael Kelly loosening up for the Athletics.
The way that Springs is pitching right now, challenging hitters, not putting anyone aboard. He's continuing to make his case, but at 89 pitches, how much longer is his leash?
Well, if he can get rid of Mr. Pena here within the next couple, I think he'll buy himself another one.
It's down low on the changeup.
And I think if he could take care of business against Christian Vasquez, who is now out on deck for the Astros. Looks like Joe Espada might be looking to get Yordan Alvarez off his feet, and maybe some others in tow behind him. There's the veteran catcher.
The 3-2 pitch. Chopped foul. There's our buddy Josh Knoll, who throws it into the stands.
Josh looking a little more fundamentally sound these days. Like to see that.
I thought he looked fine.
Yeah, I'm progress.
3-2 pitch to third. Muncy plays it back, throws to first. Long throw, and it's dug out by Kurtz. The first baseman has made 2 great picks from throws to the left side of the infield from Wilson and now Muncy, and he's flashing the leather.
Well, Max caught just a bit in between hops here, but that's where it pays to have a fellow like Nick Kurtz over there on the back side of things, able to dig it out, take care of business for you. I mean, a good job on both ends. Not an easy play for Max Muncy to hang in there on, and he does. Take a peek. Could see him start to retreat just a bit. Give himself a chance to try to see the ball as long as possible. But Nick Kurtz going out and getting that thing. Not easily done on both ends.
Christian Vasquez is back in his 2nd stint with Houston. He signed a minor league contract on March the 7th and made the opening day roster after 3 years with the Minnesota Twins. With Houston, he is back after playing there in 2022, a single season, but a season with a lot of hardware. Ended up a World Series champion with the Astros in 2022. 1-2 pitch. Punched foul out of play. One ball and 2 strikes from Springs. That's hit in the air to right. Butler will watch it fly into the berm. And a fan made a nice catch.
Sure did.
I mean, I cannot talk enough about this crowd that has showed up and showed out tonight in West Sacramento. I know it's the home opener, but this is absolutely beautiful to see. A picturesque night at the ballpark. 1-2 in the air to left. Soderstrom in the lights, has it, and 2 are away. Now this upcoming schedule is brought to you by Service Champions. After this series against the Astros, the A's turn around and head to New York to face the Yankees and Mets. Then right back home to face the Rangers for 4 games, and then the Chicago White Sox for 3.
Well, Chris, you asked, how much longer could you hope to stick with Jeffrey Springs? He's sitting at 99 pitches, ready to hit the century mark. Hey, Jeffrey, how you feeling? All right, keep rolling then.
The performance has been phenomenal. And it's Shea Whitcomb up at the plate.
And I think that response is twofold. One, yeah, I'm feeling good. The ball's still coming out cleanly. I understand what kind of cushion we have. I know that each and every inning that I can complete is an inning that I buy from the bullpen.
Shea Whitcomb represented Team Korea in the World Baseball Classic. And a wave and miss on a changeup. Jeffrey Springs, another strikeout. He's through 6 innings with just 1 run against him. The A's lead by 10. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. More offense to come.
Grab the keys.
This summer, FIFA World Cup 2026 lights up the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Experience every goal, every celebration exclusively in Spanish on Telemundo and Peacock. Here, Scott Emerson, you have to be very pleased by the performance of Jeffrey Springs. 6 innings, 1 earned run in an 11-1 game where the A's offense has been unrelenting. And top to bottom, not a better game to open up at home in 2026.
Look, you want to set the tone. I think the couple outings that the Athletics got to start the season from Severino and from Jeffrey Springs did just that. They set the tone, and that's got to happen out of the gate. I'm sure you're not able to muster a win in those 3 ball games, but the idea that
into left center field, a base hit. Leadoff single for Wilson.
The idea that they did so, and Jeffrey Springs is able to back it up again, very impressive. Right-hander Ryan Weiss on now for the Houston Astros. He's appeared in a couple of games so far. 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Again, Joe Espada right now just trying to piece together a few innings here out of that bullpen.
Here's Lawrence, who's 2 for 3 with a single and another one. It's going to say a 3-run home run. Wilson goes to second. Now 3 hits for Butler.
Well, this power performance is brought to you by Xfinity. How about the night for Max Muncy? Early on, single. Later in the ball game, double in that right center gap, and then peace out. Max Muncy into the night. A 3-hit night for the third baseman. Steps up now with 2 on, nobody out.
Weiss against Muncy. High chopper to the third baseman. Over second on to first, and it's a 5-4-3 double play for the moment.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer that's going to last. I got Max Muncy safe.
Looks like Nick Allen in the game at third.
Oh, Mark Gotze is going to keep it rolling. Oh, man.
It's bang bang, about as bang bang as it gets. For Ryan Weiss, it has not been an easy road to the big leagues. He's bounced all across a number of different organizations, ended up playing in the Atlantic League for 2 years, then went to China, Taiwan truly. Played for the Fubon Guardians, then back to the Atlantic League. And then in 2024 went to the Hanwha Eagles. As you look at the defensive changes, Loper-Fido is in left. Whitcomb at first, Matthews at second, and Allen at third.
Spotted indeed getting the regulars off their feet early.
And as I was saying, had a successful year with the Eagles in Hanwha. Nick Allen in the game. Re-upped and then signed a major league deal with the Astros. Grounded to the former A. Nick Allen, throws to first. And a good stretch by Whitcomb. That'll retire the side. First time the A's have been unable to score since the first inning. It's 11-1.
At Ashton.
Welcome back. Time now for your play of the day, presented by your California Ford dealers. And dealing he was, folks. Jeffrey Springs sprung into action from pitch one tonight. 6 solid innings of 2-hit, 1-run baseball from the southpaw. A walk issue, just one. Punched 7 tickets. All that on 103 pitches. And I said before the ball game, if Jeffrey Springs could continue to do what we saw him do in Toronto against a lineup here in the Houston Astros that has frankly gotten off to a hot start, we saw him do just that. Off balance with the slider, through the changeup at will for strikes. He did a wonderful job of stretching the strike zone. And after 6 solid innings, he hands the ball over to Big Mike, Michael Kelly. 3rd appearance for the right-hander.
And a swing and miss from Joey Loper-Fido, who's had an interesting offseason. He was originally drafted by the Astros in the 7th round in 2021 out of Duke. But then in 2024, after making his debut, was traded to Toronto. Then played in 41 games with the Toronto Blue Jays last year, batting .333. And then, well, Toronto dealt him back to Houston in exchange for the outfielder Jesus Sanchez. And Loper-Fido happened to be back with the club that drafted him. He talked about it, was very effusive about how much he loved Houston and playing there and the organization. So he finds himself back in the Astros garb. But he'll head to the dugout looking on a 98-mile-per-hour sinker.
This is nasty. Watch this thing just come on back. 98 painted on the black. Can I help you, Mr. Loper-Fido? Yeah, no thanks. Just looking.
Here's Nick Allen. Allen played for the Braves last year, was traded by Atlanta to Houston in exchange for the utilitarian Mauricio Dubon, who has already made a big impact for the Braves. Saw that in the series. Slow rolling ground ball to the shortstop Wilson. Gloves, guns to first, and it's just late. Allen legs out. A softly grounded infield single.
Well, and did so to his counterpart, and Jacob Wilson had to come a long way. You can see him maybe a foot off the outfield grass with the heels of Jay Willie. And even with his plus throwing arm, Nick Allen can move, and he's busting it down the line. And Jacob opting for the backhand just to give him a little space to make that kind of underhand slingshot throw.
Hitting the air to right, Butler on the run. It will go foul.
See Nick Allen, he's going to play umpire too.
Safe by about a quarter step. Cam Smith 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout looking. Strike 2. And for the bullpen that has performed very well over the last 3 games or so, Dallas, How do you think the energy factors into this for them? Up 11-1, Jeffrey Springs 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 run, and only a walk.
Well, the energy, I think.
Another strikeout for Michael Kelly. He is letting him loose here in the 7th.
The energy, I'm not sure, really changes, doesn't shift much. You want to come in, you want to get outs. And Chris, something to remember is when you're a part of a bullpen that doesn't necessarily have that stopper identified quite yet, you don't have a definitive closer role that's been established. Being able to come in a spot like this, being able to come in a spot with a little more leverage attached to it, if you treat them similarly and you're able to come in and compete and do your job, I think you're that much closer to putting yourself on the radar or into consideration for the responsibilities of higher leverage scenarios, and who knows, maybe even that closer's role. But all that to say that you can't let the scoreboard affect how you want to go out there and take care of business coming out of the bullpen.
0-2, Allen going. Fastball down. Remember, the A's have both of their ABS challenges remaining. There's been 1 ABS challenge used all game. Chandeliers used it against Jose Altuve in the 3rd inning, which struck Altuve out looking.
I tell you right now, you see the reaction there from Mark Kotsay? Watch this reaction here. All right. All right. What is that? What is that? All right. And that's with Nick Allen moving up to second base. With the ball game the way it is, 2 outs. Saw a similar reaction from Jeff McNeil at second base. Jeff McNeil, a grizzled vet, been around the game a long time.
Two-two, yanked down the left field line. It will hook foul.
You know, the reason behind it, Chris, is there's ways that guys play the game, and whether you hear the old adage, play the game the right way in a situation like this, I mean, it's going to go as an indifference. So it's not a stolen bag. You're down 10 runs here in the 7th with 2 outs. You know, what are you moving up to second base for? And I'm sure Nick Allen's response would be, well, you know, hey, if I can get myself into scoring position and I can get my guy an opportunity to drive me in, who knows?
3-2. Kelly walks Myers.
And I'm just going to play devil's advocate here in this situation. Something you have to consider is, with 11 runs posted on the scoreboard tonight by the Athletics, each and every one of those came with 2 outs. So if there was going to be any leg to stand on in that argument or in that discussion, that might be the only leg. I don't know how stable that leg is. Probably got a few blown ligaments in that leg of an argument.
Now, who gives that sign? Is it Tony Perez Chico, or was that Allen just on his own accord taking second?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna bank on.
Slow. 2 balls and no strikes.
And you know, there's different ways to express your emotion when it comes to plays like that.
Three 3-0. There's a strike. Does that go? It does not. A walk for Kelly. Oh, they checked him. Last second appeal, and first base umpire has a different opinion.
Yeah,
Vic Carapazza raised the fist at the last second.
Well, that's why you always go down there and check, huh? There's more than one guy calling this game. And, I mean, if Diaz puts the bat on the ball, that might go for a double. I mean, that's almost a full swing.
3-2 with 2 outs. Both runners at first and second will get a head start. Payoff pitch from Kelly is coming. And they're going to challenge this on the outside spot. Another challenge for Langoliers. If this goes, this place will erupt again.
A close pitch, just looking to see if some of that arm side run from Michael Kelly is going to show up. Ooh, and it just misses. This ABS challenge by T-Mobile. Almost 2 inches out. That'll bring out Scott Emerson now. Have a little chit chat with Michael Kelly. Just try to get Big Mike back online if he can here. You know, that's the beautiful thing about baseball is if you're the Astros, you're looking to try to get something started any way you can. Chris, what do I always say about being down to your final out, especially in a ball game that might feel like it's out of reach? Chip in a chair. Give me a chip in a chair and I've still got a chance. So if you can mount any sort of effort to climb back in this ball game, that's what the Astros are trying to do right now.
Kelly deals low and outside, 1-0. To Bryce Matthews, is 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. Slider missed away. Got nowhere to put Matthews. A's up 10 runs, have some runs to play with, but like you said, all 11 runs for the A's came with 2 outs. He missed again, 3-0. Gotta find the zone here. Real pitch. Snaps off a sweeper across the zone, 3-1.
Well, much like Joe Espada did not want to see Munoz come in and have things go the way they did for him. Mark Kotze, the last thing you want to do in a ball game like this is come in and start missing the strike zone. Kelly now able to get back in the count with back-to-back sliders. Full count. 2 outs, bags juiced. Runners will get a head start.
Payoff pitch. Fouled away into the Astro dugout. Heads up. Allen on third. Myers at second. And Diaz at first in an 11-1 A's lead. Kelly's payoff. Inside. And he'll walk another. 11-2 now. So that's 3 straight walks for Michael Kelly. And he might have had a case for ABS there.
Well, yeah. Looked like it may have clipped that inside corner. This conversation now between Shea and Michael Kelly, more so just about allowing Scott Barlow to finish up his throws and get to a point where should Michael Kelly not be able to handle Mr. Pena here at the plate, that'll probably be it for Michael Kelly. Michael Kelly at 31 pitches now. And this is why I was saying it was important for Jeffrey Springs, if you could, to be able to squeeze 6 innings out of his outing. Because now Michael Kelly at 30+ pitches probably be towards the bottom of the list tomorrow.
First pitch on a check swing, 1 hopper to McNeil. This will end the inning. But the Astros score a run off of a hit and 3 walks. 11-2 now. To the stretch we go.
Hi.
Well, 11-2 here for the Athletics at the bottom of the 7th. And tonight we're proud to recognize YMCA of Superior, California as our nonprofit partner of the ballgame. The YMCA of Superior, California strengthens our community through youth programs, health and wellness initiatives, and family support services. From after-school programs and summer camps to fitness and outreach efforts, they're committed to helping individuals and families thrive. To learn more or get involved, you can visit ymcasuperiorcal.org.
Well, the Astros get a run back, 11-2 the score after a single and 3 walks by Michael Kelly. It was an arduous 7th for the reliever, but only 1 run of damage against him.
Well, we're stretching here in West Sac. Fans have been treated to some early fireworks from this Athletic offense. Looks like they're going to stick around and catch an even better fireworks show after the ball game. And Chris, we typically treat the fans here in the ballpark to a ball toss out of the booth. But with the opening night festivities, God bless America, we'll see you tomorrow.
Maybe you'll see us before tomorrow. Maybe it just happens a little later.
Well, maybe. Typically, they're used to it at this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just delayed a little bit.
Look, baseball players, creatures of habit. Baseball fans, creatures of habit.
Ryan Weiss back to work in the bottom of the 7th. It's Clark taking low, 1-0. As we touched on with Weiss, Hanwha Eagles the last 2 years, same place Cody Ponce pitched. Both revitalizing their careers and finding themselves in the big leagues. And Korea has become a viable option for guys to go overseas, get some work in, work on some things, and come back stronger at the big league level.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that, you know, the Korean League has not necessarily closed the gap from a talent perspective the way the Nippon League has. But all that to say that it is still very, very competitive and still an area where I think players who have left stateside and are looking to revitalize their career are able to find a place where they can get to work, they can rediscover themselves, they can reinvent themselves. And I know that Cody Ponce, who I am a huge fan of, unfortunately went down the other day with a knee sprain, and he's probably going to miss a large chunk of time. But a very, very successful tenure over there that resulted in a 3-year, $30 million contract between he and the Toronto Blue Jays.
3-2 to Clark. He swings and misses on a sinker. 1 away.
Now batting the first baseman, number 16, Nick Kurtz.
You see that sinker, Denzel waving over top of it.
There's Kurtz. Big swing and miss, 0-1. Ryan Weiss in his first taste of the big leagues. Second inning of work. And now it's 1-1.
Well, it looks like Diaz wants to take a look at this. Just clipping the bottom. ABS presented by T-Mobile. I'm going to light up the box there at the very bottom of that strike zone.
No balls and 2 strikes to Kurtz, who's 0 for 3 with a walk. 0-2 pitch, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not.
Take a peek from the side here. I agree.
1-2 to Kurtz. Line drive right to Pena. 2 away.
And that's kind of how it's been going for Kurtz. A couple of bats tonight where he's come up empty on some sliders. Just checked at a slider. Call went his way. And you put the bat on the ball. Maybe more of a soft liner if you're talking about Nick Kurtz, but right at the defender.
Shea 0 for 2 with a pair of walks and a run scored. Front door breaking ball called strike 1-1. A's have 2 more games against Houston, both during the daytime, Saturday and Sunday. They'll play when the sun's out tomorrow. Sacramento Saturday for the first time. A jersey giveaway. See those Sacramento gold uniforms. I'm sure will be flying off the shelves. 1-2 to Langoliers. Outside, 2-2.
We were talking about it in Toronto. How many folks have hit us both up? Those are going to be on sale. So they're giving those away on Saturday, but they'll be on sale. How's that working? Can you get me one? It's kind of how that conversation went, huh?
Well, with the popularity of these jerseys, I don't think they're going to be on sale anytime soon. They will be for sale very, very quickly. And they may run out of stock. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Weiss in that inning. 11-2 through 7. A's lead.
When it comes to your home.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
On this day in 2006, Frank Thomas made a very memorable A's debut. He hit a solo home run against the Yankees' Randy Johnson in his first at-bat, and it was an incredible season. 114 RBIs, 39 home runs, a 926 OPS, and 4th in the AL MVP voting as the A's reached the playoffs. The big hurt in the green and gold, and the A's have put a hurtin' on the baseball today against Houston, 11-2. And I didn't lie to you, Dallas. Ball toss just had to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a backpack involved there too.
Well, I thought we were going to get away with sneaking a few out there. That indeed was not the case. As soon as the first ball left the booth, the fans, they sniffed it out. Well, you're right. A backpack did end up leaving the booth at the very end of that.
Line the other way into right. Butler has it measured up and moves in to makes the catch.
Fans, you can help us wrap up opening weekend this Sunday, 105. Bring the whole family out. It's a special first glove giveaway for the kiddos. It's a perfect start for the next generation of A's fans. Don't miss your chance to be part of a memorable day right here at the ballpark. You can get your tickets right now at athletics.com/tickets. There we go. Wrangling the kiddos. Get your last snack into the ball game. Hunker down for the fireworks show.
These fans have been firmly planted in their seats all game long. Have erupted to the 11-run outburst off of 12 hits. A few defensive gems as well. as Whitcomb takes low. It's JT Ginn in the game, and we talked about Game 3 against the Toronto Blue Jays, where he tossed 3 2/3 scoreless in long relief. 1-2, and he picks up right where he left off in Toronto with a strikeout against Whitcomb.
Well, JT Ginn continuing to slice and dice. Highlighted the initial effort of the season for JT Ginn. And I got to believe he'll be on here for the 8th, and should things go the way he would like them to, and I think the way they're already headed, have him close out the 9th inning as well. And what you're seeing from JT Ginn, and this is something that I think you understand, if you got a guy coming out of the bullpen, you feel like the stuff plays up, meaning there's maybe just a tick or two more on the fastball. Stuff sharpens
to second.
Excuse me, partner. Stuff sharpens up, and you're able to get through innings quickly, just like JT Ginn did. 8-2 green and gold. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th.
This game summary is brought to you by
Toyota.
11-2 the score. Bottom of the 8th inning. Jeffrey Springs, 6 solid innings of work, just 2 hits and an earned run. With a walk and 7 strikeouts. Butler and Muncy, the young core, 6 for 8, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, 4 runs, and mind you, as Soderstrom sends it in the air to center, all 11 runs that the A's have scored have come with 2 outs. They got to the bullpen early. The offense has connected early and often in this game. They've gotten to Javier. They will see Imai tomorrow likely, but top to bottom, you cannot be happier about the performance with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th on this home opener for the A's offense and for their pitching.
What you think about the continuity of the lineup tonight. You got great at bats from top to bottom. I mean, everybody in the lineup, Chris, has either a walk or a knock. Everybody's reached base. Everybody outside of a couple guys have scored. And that doesn't happen if you're not able to pass the baton, and you don't have that pass the baton mentality.
Lace to left, and Loper Fido backpedals to make the catch. Rooker's squared it up a few times. It comes up empty-handed. Here is Darrell Hernandez. After Wilson went 2 for 4 with an RBI single and a run scored. First pitch is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Ginn will likely go for the 9th for the A's. Preserve the bullpen arms for tomorrow, as alluded to before. It's likely that Tatsuya Imai will make his first road start in the big leagues. Big rip, got a piece, caught by Diaz. To 1 pitch, goes fishing. We just got word 12,410 people have packed in the ballpark in West Sacramento, the highest attended game for the A's in their tenure here at the ballpark in West Sacramento. 2-2, fouled away. So the excitement is real, the energy is palpable, and the A's have responded to that in kind.
Well, they have, as I said, treated the fans to quite an offensive explosion.
2-2 from Weiss. Hernandez the other way, a base hit. So Darrell off the bench single, and Butler will see the 8th.
Well, Darrell the barrel just shooting the hands the other way. And I think it's real easy for a guy coming off the bench here late in the ball game to try to get big in his one at bat, and instead you take a pitch away, maybe even expanded the zone a little bit, but did so and was able to find his way to first base. You know, those are the kind of, and I say unselfish at bat. It's not like he's trying to get a guy over or get a guy in with less than 2 outs with that approach. But what it is it's not him saying, I'm going to try to drive this ball out of the ballpark the other way. I think there's probably a single waiting for me over there if I stay within myself. And he's rewarded.
Butler 3 for 4 today. His average went from 083 to 250. Hits that hard on the line to Allen, and off his shoe tops makes the catch for the final out of the 8th. 11-2 the score. 3 outs left to get for the A's in the 9th.
100 years.
Saturday A's home games for just $916. That's $916 for you locals. And take home fan favorite giveaways every Saturday. You can enjoy can't miss matchups against the Yankees, Giants, and the Tigers. Reserve your seat today at athletics.com/Sacramento.
Nick Allen leads off the top of the 9th inning against Ginn. JT deals away with a sinker outside, 1-0. Ginn at a 1-2-3 8th inning. Andy Ibanez checks in at second base. 11-2 the score. 2 balls and no strikes. Two 2-0 from Ginn is high. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, Allen had a softly grounded infield single. Shortstop Wilson was playing deep, had to go a long way in, and somehow made a play on the ball, and it was a bang-bang play where Allen just beat out the throw by about a quarter step. 3-0 pitch is a strike on a sinker. Hit deep in the hole, and a diving attempt by Hernandez. It'll go through for a hit. So Allen, in his return against the A's, has 2 hits off the bench.
Well, this one a little hotter off the barrel than the last. That first knock, as you just described, was a dribbler to the shortstop. Bang, bang. Jay Willie just missed throwing him out. This one, a little more barrel on it.
Cam Smith 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Ginn works in on him with a sinker, 1-0. Remember Dallas, the A's won 8 of 13 against Houston last year as Kurtz holds on. Allen, busted bat, little flare to right center that'll drop down. Allen is going to take third on the play. And shards of the baseball bat went everywhere in Smith's first hit of the series. First and third, nobody out.
Yeah, you can add it to the wood pile, but you can also add it to the hit column. And I'm sure Cam Smith will make that trade any day of the week. But interesting that you're holding Nick Allen on.
Jake Myers takes in 1-0. Strikeout, ground out, walk, 0 for 2. But to finish my point, A's won 8 of 13 against the Astros last year, won the season series. Houston went 1-6 here at Sutter Health Park.
Well, it was a changing of the tide for a team in the Astros that have kind of been taking your lunch money for a while. It's nice to bounce back and stand up to the bully.
2-0 into center. Denzel comes in, makes the catch, tagging from third, and scoring is Allen without a throw. So 11-3 the score on the sacrifice fly, but there's the first out of the inning. And here Diaz, 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, a run scored, shoots it the other way down the right field line. That'll tuck into the corner. Cam Smith head of steam around second, into third. They're going to wave him home. Could be a relay throw. Ibanez to the plate. It's up the line and late. And an RBI double from Yainer Diaz. It's 11-4. So some later offense for Houston.
Well, and credit to Yainer Diaz. Catches a slider deep in the zone and able to rifle it down the line. Lawrence Butler comes up with it cleanly, but they were bringing Cam Smith around the entire time. And I think this is more than anything just Langoliers reminding JT, hey, regardless of the score, let's get back to making pitches. Let's get back to pounding the strike zone the way we know you can. And Chris, we were having the conversation earlier about, you know, not pitching to the scoreboard, but I think candidly any pitcher will tell you you like to feel the energy.
Chopper to third, giving ground Muncy. It's called a foul ball.
Close play down there for Nick Lentz, third base umpire. See where this ball just over the bag and just to the left of the foul line.
Muncy's played well over there today and has had a whale of a game offensively. One to Matthews. Make it 0-2. Rejects the first, accepts the second. 0-2. Hit in the air to left. Soderstrom is underneath. 2 down. And it's up to Jeremy Pena to keep the game alive for Houston.
Now batting number 3, Jeremy Pena.
One out away from the A's first win at home in 2026. First pitch, check swing. Did he go? They won't appeal. It's in. Took the A's 5 games to win here at home last year. They've got a chance, with 1 out, to win convincingly in their first game at home in 2026.
That's what you call getting off on the right foot.
Three balls and no strikes to Pena. And that's down low, so a walk for Ginn.
Now batting number 2, Christian Vasquez.
A couple of sinkers that have just missed below the strike zone on back-to-back pitches.
"27 pitches for Ginn, first and second, 2 outs. 11-4 the score. Vasquez fouls away the first pitch. He entered the game in the 6th inning, flew out and lined out. He's 0 for 2.
Again, set to deliver pitch number 30.
One, grounded foul. And now the Astros and Vasquez are down to their final strike. Green and gold faithful on their feet across the confines of the ballpark in West Sacramento. They've been waiting 6 months to return to this ballpark. The 1-2 pitch. And they're going to challenge the spot. Could the game end here?
It would be the second time that we've had a game this season end with an ABS challenge. Oh.
By an eyelash. It missed. They have waited a long time to see the A's again in West Sacramento. Two-two pitch. Into shallow left. Soderstrom in. And in night one, the A's claim victory in West Sacramento. The home opener, the A's are victorious. They win 11-4 top to bottom. A phenomenal game from the hitters, from the pitchers. It had defense. And the A's win by 7, Dallas. A celebration of the A's in West Sacramento tonight.
It was an early fireworks show offensively for the Athletics, Chris. 11 two-out runs scored by the green and gold from top to bottom. We saw discipline, we saw power. You got Lawrence Butler, Max Muncy going back-to-back. And how about the dude on the bump? Jeffrey Springs, the southpaw, delivers again. 6 phenomenal innings from the left-hander. Just 1 run allowed, turned it over to the bullpen who took care of business, took care of the Astros. Game 1, win 1 here in West Sac.
Well, stay tuned, folks. A's Cast and NBC Sports with Townie and Saxey, presented by Toyota, starts right after the break.